What's good in the neighborhood? It is I again, and I want to do a beat breakdown on Open Garden from my album Your Letters. It was the third track in the first half of the album, and it is one of the first tracks that made me like really passionate about music as a whole. Because I was kind of sort of giving up like last year. Then I made this song and Let Us Color and a few other tracks, and I was like, you know what? I want to keep doing this. So I did, and this is how it was made. This song samples Kawaki wa Meku. I'm pretty sure that's the title of the song. Just to double verify, yeah, Kawaki wa Meku. And the English translation was Crying for Rain. And how I first came about this song, I just threw in the random sample here, not in this specific project file, because I chopped up the sample on another one. I didn't save that file to my files. But it sounded something like this. Kind of a simple sample, and I didn't really want to keep it at that because I thought that would be pretty lazy. So instead, I ended up chopping the sample and I pitched it down. Okay, this is how it sounded before the pitch down. And so after chopping that, I ended up putting it into this project bio, and this is how this one began. I ended up doing this, just throwing it in. And then I thought to kind of make it sound a bit different compared to my usual mixing methods, because usually with most of my samples or instrumentals, I pitch it up about 30 cents. This time I was like, you know what? What if I pitched it down? What if I pitched it down 30 cents? And it sounded a bit like this. It wasn't a massive difference, but I did like how it sounded. Like you can still kind of tell that the frequency is a bit lower. So with that being said, I ended up working on all my drums. So um, the chopping was already done. So pattern one was my hi-hats. I didn't use any like super drawn out hi-hats or just any with like reverb, honestly. So I kind of went for like a something simple. I would say these hi-hats are kind of bouncy because like there's kind of like on and off in this area, and then this area it's like a bit more streamlined. I use a lot of triplets. And over here I use like a whole six type deal. And that was pretty much it for the hi-hats. They were pretty simple. I do tend to mess with the velocity sometimes to kind of like I kind of make it sound like it's going up and down and up and down. And I would say in the song it kind of does give off a bit of that impression. Anyway, next up, I worked on these are all the claps and snares in one specific pattern. This was a mixture of the Bane clap, 18 plus snare, and punk snare. All three of these were from the aforementioned MP5 drum kit in my previous video. That drum kit's pretty cool. Anyway, and this is how that all sounded. I didn't mess with the velocity on these. Instead, I kind of just looked at the channel rack and I kind of just adjusted the volume to how it's supposed to fit, as well as the panning. Uh, I kind of flip-flop between claps on the left or the right and snares on the left or the right. It just depends like the mood I'm feeling and if like I want to change up something about the song. That's kind of simple. And then for this is the crash. Pretty simple. I just wanted to go with like a more spacey crash because I feel like at this point in time, I was kind of overusing the working on dying crash. Well, it's not necessarily like the working on a dying crash, but it's a crash that's using like a lot of plug songs and plug and B songs, and it's like it's a good crash. Like I'll play it. Like it genuinely speaking, it is like one of the best crashes ever made, in my opinion. It's classic. Like you can't get any better than that. But it does get overplayed at some point in time, so I opted for that one. Anyway, then you have these are the 808s. These ones I use traditional spins from the Arita drum kit specifically, but they were spins 808s. And then on top of that, I used the 90. Was it the 909 kick? Sorry, it was the lean kick. This drum kit, I don't actually remember where that's from. I don't know. Um, and with the 808s, you can already see the pattern, but with the kicks, I only used them on some of the 808s, not all of them, because I didn't want the kick to like drown out the 808. This is a song from a year ago, so I don't know what was going through my head when I was like currently mixing it, but I can confidently say that even back then I knew that I didn't want the kick to like overwhelm the 808. I didn't know how to mix it to the point where it didn't. Um, Here's how that sounded individually. Also, like I mentioned in the previous video, Glide 808s, sorry, Glide 808s. These 808s or these keys are not even keys. What am I saying? These notes are really good. Glide notes just make your 808s sound really like fluid. When like if you just want to like transition to like a note really fast, and it kind of just has like a really weird like a wavy sound to it almost. I have like a shitty explanation of it, but that's just how I see it. Like playing it, like you can kind of imagine like a wave going up and then crashing right back down, and that's how I see it. Just sounds good in general. I'm gonna keep glazing glide notes for the rest of my life. Anyway, this is pattern 5. Uh like other sound design that I use for texture or just like adding something extra to the song, um I use this kind of like to serve as like a pseudo record scratch, sort of, not really. It just adds more to the song. And then these were the like I mentioned in the other video, usually in the middle of songs, I like to throw in like random drums. Whether it's dance or breakcore or something that I just thought, fuck it, I'll add in. And this one, I did the third option. Last year I kind of thought this was a bit more unique to me, but like after listening to a few Jane Remover songs, I was like, oh, this kind of sounds similar. Not that that's a bad thing, but I clearly got inspiration from somewhere, so there's that. But I did that. And with that being said, I use a 909 kick. Just generic snares and open hats from the FL Studio packs. Actually, these were not a drum kit. You can just have this if you have FL Studio. Um, and then I use some sound effects. This was also from a pack. And yeah, literally this entire section was just done through the FL Studio drums section. You find everything right here. And if you're lazier than I am, you can literally just go to the loops section. I use loops on occasion, not super often, only if it's like or something like tiny or like something extra. Um, with that, we have the last pattern, which was an open hat. Okay, I remember where it is. That kind of goes with pattern 2. But anyway, here's everything kind of thrown together. So here's the entire beat without any other audio design, or the sample. It all kind of clashes together. And for the intro of the song, before I play the full thing, actually I'll save that. Here is the actual extra audio sound design with that. That might have been unclear. Here's the extra audio sound design with that. And then I also added my producer tags to this. These are a bit outdated. I don't use this tag anymore. But if you were to do this,
Bye-bye.
this tag I do use still, even to this day with any music that I'm making. More info on that eventually. And then here's the other set of drums separately. And at one point in the song, I used both my regular set of drums and the second set. Here's how that sounds together. And here's the full thing together. This was a much more simple beat than the other one that I showcased. But again, this is what literally ignited my passion for music. At the very least, it was like a second wind. But here it is all together.
だからそれでもいいからさここにいた
And then here's the second set of drums with its accompanying sample. And the intro does have a separate effect, as you can notice, as you can tell, because I had put a love filter on that. I use a lot of love filter when it comes to like making mixes of songs, or if I just want to add like something special to a song, or I just want to go for like a low fidelity feel. It just depends. It doesn't really matter, but like here's the beginning, and then back to the anyway. With that being said, that is how I made Open Garden. Now, for the surprise element that I am not going to put in the thumbnail, you are still watching this, I am remastering my very first album, like in full. Like I am remixing elements of it, so that way it sounds cleaner, and I will show y'all a sneak peek of Garden, or Open Garden. That's the file name. And I plan to drop this sometime in November, but so far, here is a sample of the remastering that I've been doing to make this mixing a lot clearer, while still keeping the original like intent of the song. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Expect that sometime in November. If not, December definitely, because it's still a work in progress, but I have a handful of tracks already remastered. And with that being said, that concludes this breakdown. If you liked it, I'm good for you. Good for you. Leave a like, whatever else YouTubers fucking say at the end of these videos. And again, more music coming soon. I plan to drop something probably next week. The full-blown remastered album is going to come out in November, and the rest I cannot say. But overall, that's it. I will see y'all in another beat breakdown. Let me know if you want to see more of these. Alrighty, goodbye.